For most of human history, there were no cities, no farms, and no permanent homes. Researchers estimate that more than 90% of the human story unfolded before agriculture ever existed. This long chapter belongs to hunter-gatherer societies, communities shaped by movement and by nature itself. According to the Smithsonian Human Origins Program, Homo sapiens appeared in Africa around 300,000 years ago. Fossils discovered in places like Jebel Irhoud in present-day Morocco provide some of the oldest evidence of our species. From Africa, humans gradually spread across the world. Evidence gathered by the Natural History Museum in London shows that early humans adapted to very different environments, from African savannas to European forests and the cold landscapes of Ice Age Eurasia. Mobility defined their lives. Hunter-gatherers followed animal migrations, seasonal plants, and water sources. Archaeologists emphasize that this movement was not random, but guided by deep knowledge passed down through generations. This was not a primitive existence. It was a refined and highly adaptive way of life. Daily life revolved around survival, but survival did not mean constant struggle. Studies of modern hunter-gatherer groups, such as the Hadza of Tanzania, show that these societies often maintained diverse and balanced diets. They hunted animals for protein and fat, gathered fruits, roots, nuts, and honey, and adjusted their food sources according to the season. Hunting required cooperation and planning, while gathering demanded detailed botanical knowledge. Fire played a central role in daily life. Archaeological evidence summarized by the Smithsonian shows that controlled use of fire allowed humans to cook food, stay warm, and protect themselves from predators. Cooking increased the amount of energy humans could extract from food, a factor many researchers believe supported physical and cognitive development. Evenings around the fire became centers of storytelling, teaching, and memory sharing. This is how knowledge and culture were preserved long before writing existed. Hunter-gatherers lived in small social groups, usually between 20 and 50 individuals. Ethnographic research shows that these groups were flexible and largely egalitarian. Leadership existed, but it was temporary and situational. Decisions were often made collectively, and sharing food and tools was essential for survival. Modern humans have an average brain volume of about 1,300 to 1,500 cc. While brain size alone does not define intelligence, researchers agree that this capacity supported language, memory, planning, and symbolic thought. Hunter-gatherers relied on these abilities to plan hunts, remember landscapes, and adapt to changing environments. They were not merely surviving, they were creating meaning. Cave paintings found in places like Lascaux in France and Altamira in Spain, dated to over 30,000 years ago, reveal early art, symbolism, and belief systems. Burial sites containing tools, ornaments, and pigments suggest early ideas about identity, death, and possibly an afterlife. Archaeologists believe these practices reflect complex emotional and spiritual worlds. Elders played a crucial role in preserving knowledge. In societies without writing, memory itself was a form of survival. Despite their adaptability, hunter-gatherer societies had limits. Population growth was naturally restricted by constant movement, and climate changes at the end of the last ice age reshaped ecosystems worldwide. Archaeological evidence from regions like the Fertile Crescent shows that as resources became more concentrated, some groups began staying longer in one place. These conditions eventually led to the adoption of agriculture. Importantly, research shows that early farming did not immediately improve quality of life. Skeletal evidence reveals higher levels of disease, malnutrition, and inequality in early agricultural societies. For tens of thousands of years, hunter-gatherers lived sustainably and intelligently, deeply connected to their environment. They were not waiting for civilization to rescue them. They were already human, curious, cooperative, symbolic, and creative. Understanding their lives reminds us that civilization is only one chapter in a much longer human story.